One of the challenges of running in first place is that you are always running scared. Literally always terrified that somebody is coming up behind you.
So Judita has moved up. So she's 10 minutes.
10 minutes behind.
Okay.
Just manage in between here, okay? That's all you need. And just be smooth and strong. If you're smooth and strong, then I'll catch you.
Okay.
That's all you gotta do.
Fuck, I'm tired.
That's normal.
This year I decided to have a focus a little bit of longer distance objectives. In the spring, I did the Haute Route, a 110 kilometer ski traverse, and then following that I made the sort of shift to running from skiing, which is always a little bit tough because it's very different for the body. The Mont Blanc 90K is part of the Mont Blanc Marathon Festival. This year, the race was a little bit different than some other years. 85 kilometers and about 6,000 meters of vertical gain. It's pretty steep, it's very technical, it's not very runnable. Easy way to sort of break it up in my head. In the last 5 years, I've pretty much, the longest race I've done is upper 50 kilometers. This part is literally the hardest part for me because I have a really hard time projecting myself. You have to have food that you want to eat because it's all about how many calories you can put into your body and making sure that your stomach is okay. Because I'm relatively inexperienced in ultra-distance racing, I looked to Katie Scheid and Mimi Kotka for their advice about this race course in particular. They're the winners of the last 3 editions of this race, and so they know it super well, and they also are really experienced ultra runners.
For her, I think it's like managing the ultra aspect of it, like eating and drinking and perhaps trying to conserve some energy for the end. Because when it's long, it makes more of a difference to get enough energy in and to stay hydrated. So, but I'm sure she's on top of it. So.
Yeah, I think the 90K, it's really a mountain race more than most other ultras. It's really steep. It's a lot more technical than most races. I think it's really, truly the race of Chamonix.
What is your goal? How much do you want to eat by this point, too?
I also looked directly to my friend Mike and has a really methodical brain. And so he kind of helped me to think about how to prepare myself in a way that was really strategic.
Do you want me to meet you before or after the aid station? Or I guess there's going to be a crew zone.
Yeah, it's 20 meters before, 20 meters after.
Okay.
That's
Do you prefer me to be on the...
Maybe after?
Okay.
Essentially, the race course, you could split it up into 5 major climbs, each one being, somewhere around 1,000 meters. And we decided that Mike would be at the beginning and the end, up in sort of the higher mountain aid stations. And then I had my friend Alex and Katie and Mimi and Meg, who were all going to be sort of spread out lower in the valley to support me when I was going to be coming back down before big climbs.
And let's put your hands in the air and put them together for the team and the volunteers. There will be snow on the descent from the Brevant, so please do be careful for the snow. There's quite a bit of it on the descent.
But I think that 12 hours is fine.
And then we'll get started in just under 4 minutes. Just under 4 minutes to the 2021 edition of the 90K Mont Blanc.
The race started at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we had an elite starting pen, so saw and recognized both Ekaterina Mitayeva and Judita Turini, who I knew would be my main competitors for the race. The first climb right out of Chamonix is about 1,200 meters, and Katie had encouraged me to go out strong. I went out relatively hard in that first climb and was able to establish a 10-minute gap with Judita and Ekaterina.
How you doing?
Good. I don't do long stuff.
That first traverse was pretty magical because we had the sunrise. The light was incredible, and you're essentially traversing all the way across just above the valley. Even if it looks on the map like it's flat, you have to be really on it. I think that one of the biggest challenges about switching race format is whereas in a short race, I'm essentially going all out the whole time. In a race like this, I had to be thinking about economy and my energy. I kept saying to myself in my head, like, is this a pace that I can keep going at for another 8 hours, and trying to make sure that I wasn't going too fast.
Bravo! Trop forte!
Attention là. Bravo!
Wow, allez. Allez, courage.
Coming into the Valorcine aid station, I saw Katie, and I'm pretty sure I told her that I was starting to feel pretty tired, and she said,
That's normal.
it's great reassurance to have from somebody who does a lot of ultras that, like, feeling kind of crappy relatively early on is pretty normal. At that point, I wasn't even at halfway in the race.
Having someone support you on a race is more just about having those moments where you see someone and you're able to like let go of whatever is going on in your head and kind of just say like, okay, you're not alone, we're all here for you and we're supporting you. Have fun. I'll see you soon.
I knew that I was maintaining about the same 10-minute gap with Giuditta behind me. I was actually surprised that Ekaterina had fallen back a little bit, but definitely felt a consistent pressure from Giuditta as I was going. As I was coming into Le Tour, I was feeling pretty good, but I was also relatively tired. I was looking forward to the fact that Mimi had told me that she was going to bring a chair for me, so I was really excited to sit down.
Like going up with it, I was like, how do these people do ultra? These are hard.
These people is you.
With the high of having so much energy, so many people around me, that probably after that I was going to kind of, drop in energy again. And Mimi also anticipated that. And I remember her looking me right in the eyes and saying, just remember, when you feel like crap, everyone else also feels like crap. After I left that aid station and was starting to, struggle a little bit in the next big climb, in my head I was thinking like, everybody else feels this bad right now. After the fourth climb and descent, we were coming into Les Bois. Everyone I know who lives locally in Chamonix has told me that that's a pretty key moment because Les Bois is just a couple flat kilometers to the finish line, except instead of going straight, you're gonna do another 1,400 meter climb up to Montanvert. And mentally, that's kind of a crux moment.
Essaye de repartir dans moins d'une minute. Il arrive.
Because I knew that Giuditta was going quickly on the downhills and not spending much time in the aid stations, I was really concerned that she might see me in Les Bois. And a lot of racing is in the mental game, and competition is also in your head. And so I knew that if she saw me, that would give her a boost, that she could catch me.
endroit fameux pour l'alpinisme, pour l'escalade.
Montanvert is essentially like one of the birthplaces of mountain tourism. On a beautiful summer day, it is just flooded with tourists.
I think I broke my body.
Just as my coach had told me, save energy for the last climb, in my head I was thinking like, oh man, I bet Judita's done the same thing and she's gonna be, doing a crazy acceleration on this climb and coming for me. And I started getting in a pretty dark place mentally.
Around the corner.
I think I told Mike that I had broken my body and I was pretty desperate, hoping for a miracle.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Just gonna take my... Got it. You're good. Get some fresh water and electrolyte.
He was both listening to me, but he was also kind of dictating to me. He was able to say to me, like, I want you to eat this.
Want to drink a little more for me, though? Get this in. If you need some electrolytes, get some gel.
I put the old one back in.
Yeah. But keep drinking.
I mean, my whole fucking body hurts.
Like doing an ultra or something. Cross, you know the drill. No one's more confident than you. You got it. Just stay in your wheelhouse. Just manage in between here, okay? That's all you need. And just be smooth and strong. If you're smooth and strong, no one will catch you.
Okay.
That's all you gotta do. All right.
Mike knows what that experience is like, and I think he anticipated a little bit what I was gonna need then. And he was really the person that I needed in the place that I needed when I needed him to be there.
Money strong. It's kick ass, right? Kick ass. Every 2 steps you say kick ass. Kick ass.
Kick ass and stay upright.
Keep it upright. Keep it upright, smooth and strong. You got it, right? Here we go. Nice work, Hillary.
Thank you.
Here you go, girl.
In any kind of race that you do, you live a lot of highs and lows. I definitely know that from all the shorter races that I've done, but I think that maybe I didn't appreciate enough that in a race this long, those highs and lows, you've got the same ones except they last way longer. So you can dig yourself a pretty deep hole or feel like, you're soaring for a lot more time.
I'm pretty tired.
You make it look easy. All your friends are gonna notice. You make it look easy. Go on and do what you do. All of this looks like gold. What you touch turns to gold. Pop. Are you seeing clear? Are you seeing clear? Pop. All the colors here.
I thought that it was all over when I got to Montanvert. My friend Mike really boosted my confidence and said, you got this, you can do it, and helped me take it home.
Crewing isn't just about being supportive. I think that sometimes it's got to be about tough love. Sometimes it's got to be about being, there for you. And sometimes it's got to be about giving somebody a swift kick in the butt. Having a crew that knows so well how to do that, like Katie and Mimi and Mike, who were absolutely key in allowing me to win the race this weekend.
Congratulations. So what's next on the agenda for you then, Hillary?
Beer and ice cream.
Beer and ice cream. That sounds good to us. Congratulations. Nice job.
C'est bon ça, Gary Glass. Merci à toi. Merci pour tout ce que tu as donné.